Hello, this is Christine with the Natural Resources Foundation. I am here today to show you a little bit more about our field trip registration. And if you've been with us before, you will notice that it looks a little different now. We don't have the numbers on the side, we have a new banner, and all the trips are in a tile format they're all listed here just on this one page. If you scroll down, you can find all of them. I also have some great tips here. If you want to find it fast, this is the new best feature. You can search by trip name. Now, it is a little hard to find, I would say, because it's like a tan on a white up here, but this is where the search bar is, and you could just write in a trip number, and here it is. It just comes right up there. If you want to add it to your cart, you already know which trip you want. You want to have 2 adults on number 27. There you go. Let's see. I have a different trip number. Just add the next trip number in. Click right there and add it to your cart. As you can see, the number of items change. The number of times you click right there is the number of trips you'll be adding to your cart. There is another way. Here is if you add a plus or a minus, you can add some spaces to your cart. So this is for 2 adults, or you can take them off using the plus or minus. If you use remove, that will take the trip off completely. So only do that if you wanted to completely take a trip off. Now we do have adult price and youth price. And I will also note that if the trip is full, the waiting list will show up here, and you do have to add that into your cart and check out with a waiting list field trip. You won't be charged now. We will contact you if there's space that becomes available, and you can pay later on. So let's just go back to home and the list of trips, all of them here. So again, every trip has a little tile right here for every single trip. If you wanted to look more into the details, you can open it up and it has the trip descriptions in there too. I also want to show you or make a note that they're listed by date, but not in exact number order. So I think it's like round trip 95 or 96 to 106. They're not in particular number order. The other thing is that if there's a B session for a particular trip, so this is 13A, but 13B is on a later date in the year, so it is not going to be listed right here next to the trip A. But that's okay. You can just put the number in there and it'll show up, and we can easily add it in there. I will point a few other things out to you. They're more for if you're shopping for trips, you can go to the calendar view. See, there's different dates, and you can click right here and you'll click right onto that trip. If there's more than those 2 trips on that date, you can just click on the plus more and it will show you the extended trips on that particular date. And then here we also have filters for when. Well, let's go back to the tile here. So you can quickly go back from calendar to tile view. And then you can also use these as filters for dates, starting and ending date, or times. Let's say you're not an early bird and you want field trips that start at 10 a.m. or later. You could write in 10 a.m. there and apply. Let's just try that. And all the trips that show up are ones that start after that time. So you can go ahead and shop that way, or else if you reset, you'll get all the trips again. We also have physical demand that you can sort, and that is by an activity level. So it's pretty similar to a regular shopping site, which is great. It's wonderful. So let's see, which trips do we have in so far? 27 and 222. So 2 adults. Actually, I meant to put in a child for that one. So again, I'm just going to look for 27, add in a child. Okay, the other trip that I wanted was 217. So you can just quickly go easily look at the cart, go back to shopping, just click in here anywhere, and it will bring you back to this cart page. 217, and that was one where I wanted two people to go on. So we go to the cart and incredible invertebrates. Oh, that's right. I had one extra adult. So I'm going to take off an adult. You use the plus or minus here to add on or subtract. You only use remove if you want to take off completely a field trip from your registration. When you're all ready, everything looks good, go ahead and check out. This next part will look very similar to what we have had in the past. So you enter your email address. If you've registered with us previously, it will ask you for your password. Now, this is the password you created with active.com when you first registered, but if you've registered with us after 2018, you did create an account, and that is your password that you have created. If you forgot your password, you could say forgot your password. I will say that, trips are secured as yours once you put them in your cart. You do have 15 minutes of inactivity to complete your registration. So if it's before the opening of registration, go to our registration page and click change my password or update my password. We have a link right there that you can update your password in active to something that you remember if you don't remember your password. I'm actually going to go back and put in a new registration just to show you what that might look like. And this is active.com things here. So first you're going to enter your first name and birthday. This doesn't have to be anything completely correct. It just has to be similar to what your birthday is. And that is for the first ticket for the incredible invertebrates. Now this one now is the Sip and See the Ice Age Trail Seed Collecting. That one is again me who's going to be registered for that particular trip. So we're going through the list of the trips that we have in our cart and we're going to add names to each of those. So again, I am going to be going on this one. This is me going on this next one. And here, this is the youth price. So I'm going to say I'm going to register a new person. And that is my child. And you can go ahead, if this is your grandchild, or you're bringing another child along, you could just say you're the person's parent or legal guardian. It's okay to just click that. It's okay to bring your grandchildren along on a field trip or a guest. It's just something that active.com has that we have to abide by. So here, tester, this is me going on 217 on the first one. And the second person who's going to be going with me is not me or my child, but it is my husband. And you might have to do the year first, and then it'll show you all the months. There we go. And then you press continue. So we have everybody listed and associated with the field trips that they're going on. And this is where you're going to be entering your home phone number. That could be your cell phone number as well, if that is the main phone number that you go by or that we can contact you. And here we're going to validate your membership. Now this is the place where you use the code on the green box on the back of your guidebook. So it's going to ask you, are you a current member of NRF? If you are, you press yes. And you're going to enter what the code is on the back of your guidebook. Now we're going to go through each person and we're going to add their contact information. It's going to assume that their child is their same address and phone number as you, and that's fine. They are. If they weren't, you could go ahead and change that. And you're going to write the same access code for everybody. Now this is my husband. He has a different email address. I'm going to add in his email address. Then that way he'll get the trip details as well. It's going to auto-populate his phone number, but please put in their correct phone number or cell. This is the one that's going to be required, so that's fine if that's a cell phone number. And then also, same thing, press yes. And then it's just going to ask about the child, if you're their primary guardian or their information. Even if you're not, just go ahead and leave this as yours. That's fine. If you change that to the real parent's name, it kind of makes a mess in the database. So just leave it as is, and we'll connect with you later about the parents. So here you're going to agree to, this is the waiver that we have at the beginning of each field trip that you can go ahead and look this over if you'd like. We also send that to you about 2 weeks before the trip date with your trip details. And this is that you agree to that fees are non-refundable if you cancel your registration. And same goes with the child. And then agreeing to the active.com has their own agreements. And then you're going to write your signature and continue to the cart. That gets to be a little bit long, adding everybody's contact information in. Now, if you have registered with us before, all that information is going to be in there. It's going to be really quick and easy. This is just for if you are a new member or a new person who is registering for the first time. So you're going to, so everybody's going to be coming here to this part and reviewing your order and making sure everything looks fine. Again, you can edit here or take things out at that point. You have for payment options, we have credit card, Google Pay, or Apple Pay if you're using a phone. And you're going to put all the good information there, and then store the card for future use. We do like it when you do this, so that way, if you are on a waiting list, we can easily add you on. And then if you had a different billing address or billing information, please go ahead and change that there. This is where the email receipt is going to happen. And because this is a new registration, we you can put this is where you create a password for future registrations that you will use either next time you register with us in the future. So you press pay now and your order is complete. And that's registering for field trips. I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, fieldtrips@wisconservation.org. Thanks.